welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 87. Obviously in today's, we'll be discussing that Burnley game and then obviously getting into the game tomorrow against Birmingham City, who we don't actually have a great record against. So hopefully tomorrow we can break another record because we've done that a lot of times this season. But like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Hope everyone's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Looking forward to the weekend. You know, another game for Luton that hopefully we can start getting back to winning ways. Do you know what I mean? Because teams are starting to pile up a bit more pressure, like your Millwalls and that. So, yeah, man. And we have got them on the week. So there we go with that one. But yeah, Stephen in the comments saying big up Ty, big up yourself, and saying big up to you as well, Dad. But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously we took on Burnley last Saturday. You know, both went into it, you know, felt we were going to lose, you know, just because how Burnley are this season. You know, both thought we'd lose narrowly. We both said 2-1, didn't we? I know I did. You said 2-1 as well. It's one of them where, obviously, we'll go through the lineup first and then we'll get into the performance. Obviously, it was Ethan in goal, Burke, Lockyer and Osho at the back. Dramer was obviously back for this one. Bell was on the other side. Camber, Ruddock and Clark just ahead. And then up front was Morris and Elijah. Pretty much expected lineup. I think I didn't say Cody in it because I was, you know, I had that worry in the sense where I weren't sure if he was going to start. So I did go with Fred, obviously Doherty. You know, I didn't expect him to be back either. Of course, he was on the bench. The bench was obviously Berry, Campbell, Doherty, Potts, Shea, Taylor and Woodrow. So yeah, obviously I think is that Potts' first game where he's back like on the bench available? Was that his? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it was. You know, other than that, it's pretty much what I expected, really. I think it's literally what I said, to be honest with you. I expected Osho to be on that left side, defence how it was. Expected, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, you know. There's just that little debate about Campbell. Obviously didn't start, but, you know, other than that, it's pretty much expected, yeah. Yeah, good to see Dre made back. Good to see Shea on the bench, Potts on the bench. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Going into the first half, you know, I thought we were, you know, throughout this whole game, I thought we were really good. We were quite unlucky, to be honest, not to get a type of result, I guess. First half, you know, we were very good. Obviously, Dre did have to come off. I don't think it's as bad as what people might think it is, though. I think he might be available, you know, tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Obviously, Doherty come on. You know, it was annoying because we do usually have this with loan players where, you know, they bring them in, they do well, and then they get unlucky with an injury or something. You know, look at Steer last season. You know, it's happened a few times. You know, look at the goalkeeper situation as a whole last season. But I don't think it's as bad as, you know, what it may seem. Personally, obviously, Doherty come on, that's a good option. You know, good replacement in that sense for that, you know, moment where we needed someone else. But yeah, you know, we had a few good chances. Elijah, I don't want to be too critical on him because he has done really well, you know, except the last two games when it comes to finishing. You know, not too long ago, he did get 5 out of 5. Looking back at it, he's just got to try and keep it down, hasn't he, Dad? That chance he had.
But the thing is, with them chances, sometimes, you know, they're harder to miss because you know, you got less time to you know, react, kind of thing. You know, I'd say the chances he had against Preston were kind of easier chances for me, because sometimes it is like that. But you know, because he's kind of hit it into the ground, and yeah, it just plays wide. But it's what it is. Do you know what I mean? We were dominating them. You know, obviously everyone, you know, see a few people might, you know, we weren't letting them pass it around. We're not going to do that. I mean, got to get in their faces.
Isn't it? And you've seen when teams have applied pressure on them, they do struggle. You know, let's be honest.
But, you know, and, you know, we'll get into other stuff later. But, yeah, I thought we'd done all right. I thought we controlled the game pretty well. We definitely didn't deserve to lose that game. The referee was fucking appalling. Like if there is such thing as bias, that was the definition of it in that game, and and other stuff's come out after that, funnily enough. But it's obvious he was just giving them, like, Elijah couldn't jump for the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't. Yeah,
he went up for a challenge, no foul, and when he got fouled, no, it's nothing. It was so blatant, it was ridiculous. He was waiting to give that penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say, like you were saying to me when we were watching it. Yeah,
VAR would have probably have. Well, I don't know. I probably reckon that it might have possibly have ruled that out. We've been unlucky about 3 penalties in 3 games, 3 red cards there's been in the matches in 3 games. That does change games as well. But we'd actually done all right with 10 men, and I was just thinking, can't blame Ethan. Do you know what I mean? Like, the only shots he's faced in the last 3 games have been penalties, haven't they?
And there was a good save he done in the first half as well from their free kick. I think that was the only chance they really had in the first half.
That was a quality chance, but it's just frustrating in the end, like because of the ref, really. He was bad.
Yeah,
in my opinion, he was terrible. And I found out that he was the ref when we got skanked in the playoff semi-final. I think it was, possibly final. I think it might have been actually against York, where he was in the line of play. Like, I don't know if he
no way.
Offside, but the offside geezer was looking across the line, and their player was miles offside. Like, literally, you could not miss it. I don't know if the ref can overrule, but anyway, it just seemed like he's I don't know. I don't want that referee again. And then obviously because of the situation, and the players felt it. Let's be honest, it's not just me moaning about it. The players felt it. The manager felt it.
You could see it was getting to the players. Hints that Lockyer sending off.
But they can't come out and say it. So I'll say it. There was some sort of bias there. I don't care what anyone says.
No, there was.
And the Lockyer obviously went. Because you're always getting frustrated when you keep giving away penalties. But it's like, it's his hand. Straight away, it's a penalty. No, it don't matter. We've had that quite a lot this season, I'll tell you that. I remember it was at Huddersfield when we played Covent. And Potts, was in the defence, and it just hammered at him, and it hit his hand. Yeah, penalty straight away. Like, you couldn't even see that one unless you watched it back in slow motion, and then it's happened loads. And this was just blatant example, like the Elijah thing every single time, pretty much. It was just ridiculous. The free kick that they got just before that penalty weren't a free kick.
Yeah, the guy literally got up and was trying to continue. Like, it weren't a foul.
It's like our players are not allowed to go in hard, and that's it seems like they've been directed. You know what I mean? Or they just don't like it. Yeah, we know Luton are going to come and they're going to be strong and in a tackle, etc. Just don't let them get away with that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Obviously, like I said, the players and that felt it. Lockyer, was fuming.
Yeah, rightly so.
When they scored, he lost it by then. He was like, "Yeah, well done," and it was, it happens. I'm not. He's been one of our best players this season. So
I understand his frustrations.
He'll be back.
When you literally, like you say, Elijah couldn't jump up for anything.
And it gives them opportunity of a bit.
He was definitely waiting for something, like you said. He was waiting for a moment to give them something. No, he was. I don't care what anyone says.
But other than that, listen, we played well against them. If we could play like that against the top team in the division.
Yeah, I'll see a lot of their fans, to be fair, saying that was probably their toughest game of the season.
You can have anyone. So, there was that. There was the positives to take from it. Do you know what I mean? And they're basically a Premier League side. So, that's how far we've come. So you've got to look at it like that. But sometimes you want to be in the Premier League because of VAR and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's what it is. It was frustrating. And then obviously it's come out now when our players have been charged.
I saw that.
For failing because they were surrounding the ref. You know what I mean? So obviously he's like, well, even that, don't that. Can you blame him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll probably just deal with it and pay with it, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because when does any club win an appeal against that? Do they even bother? Do you know what I mean? But you know, I know that when the game's finished, the management and CAT does report on the referee's performance or how they think. You know, I think that is a thing anyway, and they'll just rate him poorly because it was ridiculous. And it does go on. Like everyone says, oh, no, you know, at some level, at some time, you can see it. And he wouldn't have got away with someone else. If that was a Premier League game, a lot of that would have been like, no, overruled. You know, potentially even the foul, like saying, was it a foul leading up to? I don't know. It weren't close enough, but potentially there's things like that. But it is what it is. We move on. We you know, we both said that it'd be a narrow loss. So and we both, well, I definitely said, you know, as long as the performance is there, and it was.
Yeah. I said that as well. Yeah.
You know, the players will be angry now, obviously, and let's look forward to the next two games because that's their chance to just really cement themselves in the playoff hunt and saying you ain't pushing.
Thanks.
You're not pushing us out of here, and if we do make it, you know, it's going to be tough. Because even like, you know, away, you know, get someone away. We've been very good away this season, so we ain't got to fear that, no matter who it is. And, you know, I think it'll pick up more and more. I mean, we've just drawn too many.
That's been the problem. So I think last season we ended up drawing 13 or something. We've already drawn 11 or something like that.
Yeah, but you know, we're still in the mix, well in the mix, and we still got a game in hand over a couple of teams. So, you know,
that game on Tuesday. Obviously, getting to that on Monday, but
Millwall have played the same amount of games as us now, I think. So if we, even if they beat us, we'll have a game in hand over them. I think, I'm sure of it. So it's, you know, but I think we'll get a result there anyway as well. I just think we're at home and we're at home.
Yeah, we're at home. Yeah, it's on Sky Sports. It's on TV, proper TV. Yeah,
be a proper good game because they're quite similar. I think.
To be fair, there always tend to be decent games at home. I'm not going to lie. I remember last season it was 2-2. But yeah, obviously we're getting to that on Monday. But yeah, I suppose that's an overall summary of the game on the 90 minutes. We might as well just
get it out there. You know what I mean? Because it's just waiting for it, and then we've got other stuff to come out, and then obviously we'll just quickly talk about what Paul Ince said about when he got in.
Focus on your teammate trying to stay up, you mug.
Do Huddersfield play football? Huddersfield are a relegation candidate, and do Luton play football or like a playoff candidate? You know, ridiculous comment anyway. And actually, we were under Nathan Jones sometimes more one-dimensional. Let's be honest. Even last season, hoof it up to Adebayo, there was a lot of that. But now, since Rob Edwards has come in, he's tweaked things, and we definitely 100% play a lot more football. We play football anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, definitely. On the duck, it's like we keep it down, and
he was just going like he's got a point. I get what he's saying, but to drag us into it is ridiculous. Like it's just saying they're only up there, and that's why we keep being up there. Do you know what I mean? Because of stupidness like that. It's disrespectful to the players. What are you telling me? Doughty can't play football. Clark can't play football. You know? Do you know what I mean? Stop chatting absolute nonsense. We just play to our strengths, and you know, last season, it was mostly Adebayo, who sort of thing, maybe Campbell. But now we've got more players. We've got more strengths to play with, and the higher up you go, the more you'll get that. And that's when they go, oh, this team's strong all over the pitch. Do you know what I mean? But to get to that, you need cash. You know, at the end, at the higher level, you do. So, and we've done it, without that much cash.
Facts. Yeah.
You can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're in it. Like focus on trying to stay up, mate.
Yeah.
No. But how about you focus on actually trying to get their ground sold out when they were fighting for playoffs at the start of the season? No, real talk. That guy, I think even when they lost to United, he was saying something after, "Oh, it's disrespectful. They didn't invite me to go out for dinner after." Or something stupid like, shut up, mate. Shut up, mate. I remember when we beat them last season, last game of the season, he tried making up some sort of bull crap and all. Like,
I think he said they dominated the game from start to finish.
Yeah, that's something rubbish. Absolute rubbish, mate.
They clearly didn't. So
we capitalised on your keeper.
I think I don't know what it is. I think personally he had a little bit of a rival with Nathan Jones because apparently they both went to coaching school or whatever you want to call it together, and maybe he just thought, well, I'm Paul Lynch here. I used to play for Man United. Like Nathan Jones was coming across as the star pupil or whatever, and he just didn't like it because he was like, you play for Yeovil and that, you know what I mean? Like, I just think there's a bit of that, and he hasn't replicated nowhere near what Nathan Jones has replicated. Do you know what I mean?
No chance.
Southampton, would they? You know, he's a big name. Would they rather have had him than fucking Nathan Jones? Just annoying me. Anyway, let's get off that.
Yeah. Let's go through some comments, then we'll get into the player ratings. Big up everyone inside. Yeah, it's one of those days. Yeah, with the referees and the chart. You know, we did have a good chance, but at the end of the day, you know, like we said, we did. You know, expect to lose narrowly because it's Burnley. You know, they just don't lose. Do you know what I mean?
When you top of the league like that as well, you find luck. Yeah, you find, you know,
exactly.
You get the rub of the green, right? But that wasn't really rub of the green; it was rub of the ref, wasn't it? So, but, you know, if they'd scored the free kick and beat us, fair enough, mate. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. But it was just so annoying.
Yeah, no, it was. It was. Big up Blue Terrier. He says hello. Big up yourself, mate. Jackie says, hi, Ty, Daz. I thought it was a great game. We deserved a point. Boys played really well. They were nowhere better than us. Yeah, like a lot of Burnley fans that I saw and, you know, like on social media, obviously Dan, the Burnley fan whose channel I went on for the preview, and that, he was saying, like, maybe that was a game like they didn't deserve to, as in Burnley, of course, didn't deserve to maybe get anything out of, maybe only a point. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of their fans are saying that was their toughest game of the season, and they still won it. Do you know what I mean? There's been games where they've drawn, so them to come out and say that proves how well we played. Yeah. So, is there something you wanted to say there, Dad?
No, that's what I was just about to basically say that I'd say that as that their toughest game of the season.
Millwall same points as us. Yeah, it's madness. It's. I'll go on to why it's even madder when we get in our predictions to make more sense to what I'm trying to say. Big up Chris in the chat. He says, evening, lads. Hope you're well. We're good, thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Blue Terrier says, I'm surprised Reading can fit Paul Ince's ego in their dressing room. Yeah, facts.
Correct that Millwall thing, because I think I was coming out with some nonsense that we'd have, but I think we have actually played the same amount of games as them now. So obviously we wouldn't have a game in hand over them. But for some reason, I thought we still did.
Yeah. Chris says, you played brilliantly against best team in the league. Should take positives out of that, apart from referee robbery. Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Been at least a draw, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, getting into the player ratings now for the Burnley game, of course. With Ethan, you know, can't blame him for anything. You know, penalty was a good penalty, to be fair. Barnes, you know, he can do that. Done a good save on the free kick in the first half, like we mentioned. I'll just go over standard 7.
Yeah, same. Other than that, he didn't have many saves to make necessarily. Like he was just distribution, that was good. You know what I mean? So, you know, quite composed, didn't panic. So yeah, 7.
Yeah. Moving on to the centre backs. Start off with Osho. You know, I think, you know, the penalty was just unfortunate from him. Obviously, he has got his arm out, which is
annoying. Like, how was he supposed to put his arms in?
Yeah.
Maneuvering himself, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. Everyone just, it just annoys me that everyone just slates him because other than that, in games,
I think he's played well. Other than
yeah,
that,
I agree.
Lucky, to be honest with you, and you know.
Yeah, I think the criticism he gets is just
Yeah, he's great going forward.
To be honest, I'll say it how it is, mate, because I think it is. To be honest with you, I thought he was all right. To be honest, as for a rating, I'll go with another 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well, just for the same stuff I just said, basically. Do you know what I mean? But he's confident going forward in that as well, regardless and stuff. And we need more. That's good. That's good. That's a football player. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I probably would give him higher if you didn't give away the penalty. But again, it's not really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. Moving on to another centre back, obviously Lockyer. Obviously got 2 yellows. I understand his frustrations though. This is a red card where I'm gutted because obviously how well he's done, etc. And we're gonna have to change it round against Birmingham. But at the same time, it's one where I don't really moan at him because I understand his frustration. It's bull crap, absolute bull crap. I thought he was all right, to be honest. Yet again, I'll go with another 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Like, other than that, he was decent. Do you know what I mean? And as a captain, yeah, he got sent off. But it's good to see that he was annoyed and he could see what was going on and he was frustrated in that respect. Takes him out one game. Sometimes just have a little break, refocus, re-energize, and he'll be back.
Yeah.
Focus on the task. Sometimes things like that can refocus your mind. And we've got like 14 games left or whatever. And he's going to want to be in that mix and strive for that. So it is what it is. We've got Potts back. Maybe we'll see Bradley on the bench. So it's not too deep. It's not too bad. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then moving on to obviously the last centre back, obviously Burke. I thought first half he was really good actually. To be honest, the way he's bursting forward, making them forward passes. You know what you're going to get from Burke really when he's on that right hand side. I think he's working well with Dramer until he had to come off. Even obviously Doherty when he come on as well. Burke, yeah, I was pretty impressed by him. I think a few people might have given him man of the match from what I heard and stuff. I'm going to go for 7.5.
Yeah, same. Like, I didn't notice him to be outstanding. And the thing is, like, he's good. We know he's just basically getting back to how he was before he got injured. He's very good. And he's just starting to show that, really. And yeah, he's doing it against good teams as well. So, he's still getting back up to, match speed. But, he was pretty decent and solid in there. And I'm glad we got him back. And, yeah, I'll give him slightly higher because he was linking up quite well. So 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the wing backs. Obviously, we'll start off with J May. Obviously, unfortunately, he had to come off. I thought he was doing well again, to be honest, before he had to come off. It's difficult because he obviously had to come off in the first half. Obviously in the 32nd minute. So I'm not going to go too high just due to that. But I'm not going to go too low or anything too silly. I'll just go over. I'll go over 7.
7, yeah. I'll give him a 6.5.
I was thinking that, but I'll go 7.
As good as I've seen him, but again, it's his first game back. He was quite confident on the ball, and he was basically just getting into the game really. When he got that tackle, which but it was just a knock. I'm pretty sure he'll be playing tomorrow, so probably see a pretty good version of him. I reckon tomorrow. But yeah, 6. I'll just give him 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to go with that, to be honest. Let's go through some comments. I'm getting slightly better still off work with bad voice and cough, but I'll be fine. Yeah, hopefully you'll be all good, mate. Blue Terrier says, just seen who your referee was against Burnley. I can understand what you're saying, what you have about him. We've had him loads of times and we won't get anything when we have him. Yeah, he's just a knob, mate. He's just only football I got to watch this weekend. There's no boxing yet. Chris is heavily not on the Jake Paul, Tommy Fury boxing thing. He doesn't give a shit. Oh dear. Long trip for me going to Carlisle game away at Crawley tomorrow. Yeah, geez, hey, that's well far for you. Geez. Well, hopefully get some sort of result. You know what I mean? Going all that way. Stephen's done all of his player ratings at once, and what we'll do is we'll get into them at the end. Thanks for that as well. And then Bell was obviously on the other side. Thought Bell was decent, to be honest. Again, he's one of the most consistent players at the club. I thought he was decent yet again. I don't think it was a standout like we've seen from Bell, but I still think he was decent. I'll go with 7.5.
Yeah, same. Usual. You know what you're getting from him now. Like when he gets on the ball, like he's going to go forward, and 90% of the time he's good at it. So yeah, I thought it was pretty decent from him. 7.5.
Yeah, there you go with that one. And then moving on to the midfield, Nakamba, sorry. I don't know why I always say BR at the end. I don't know. It's one of them. But yeah, no, his performance, I thought it was better. Than like Preston, for example. But yeah, I still think, Championship, obviously, he's still got stuff to learn in that sense of how much more physical it is, and that technically brilliant player. But I think the physical side, he still needs to work on that a little bit. Yeah. I'll go with 7.
I'll give him a 6.5. It was a slight improvement as well. It went off as well. Slight injury, but precautionary. We'll see if he starts tomorrow. Personally, I keep saying it. Campbell, start Campbell. Bring him on as a sub.
Yeah,
and you're just throwing him in constantly. I don't know.
Yeah,
but for me, 6.5.
Yeah, no, obviously when he was, looking like he needed to come
and
out.
And also, he was too far back as well. Like, yes, he was mopping up or whatever, but get forward. You need him more forward, I think. He's going to
definitely think Campbell would have suited for this game, especially against Burnley. Yeah, no. And, I personally don't think if Nakamba, sorry, I keep saying that. If he didn't have to come off, I don't think Campbell would have come on personally. I'm being honest. We didn't see it against Preston.
Don't know about that, but we'll see.
He'd probably bring someone like who was on the bench again, like Berry or someone like that. I'm not even going to lie. And then moving on to the other side, Roddick. I thought he was decent again. It's one of them where he keeps performing well. It's difficult to put him out of the starting 11 really at the moment. There's a moment in the first half actually thinking about it where he made a good run on the left, got past the player, and he was doing all right. Like he has been recently. As for a rating, I'm gonna go with 7.5.
I'll give him 8. He's my man of the match. Like I was just saying, what he done in the first half, but in the second half, he had an opportunity as well, and he just couldn't get his feet. The defenders just rushed him and that, and it was a bit. But he was, going in for everything. Just epitomised what performance we needed to have against Burnley, and he was like the cog in that for me. So I will give him 8 man of the match for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. He was good. And then moving on to ahead, obviously Clark. I think Clark was decent yet again. What to expect really from Clark. The quick movement. He's not afraid to take on players, etc. I think you saw bits of that in this game. As for a rating, I'll go for 7.
I thought he was slightly better. I'll give him a 7.5. Do you know what I mean? He's like probably at the moment, our best footballer. And he's doing that every game. And it's going to be difficult against the top team, but because he's not going to get that many chances to burst forward and stuff like that. But other than that, I thought he was pretty decent. And 7.5.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. And then moving on to the strikers. We'll start off with Elijah. Obviously, did have that good chance. Obviously, referee he was just a dickhead. He just couldn't jump up for anything or try and win the ball. So he was unlucky in that sense. As for a rating, to be fair, I thought he was really good, to be fair, given the referee didn't let him do anything. I'm going to go over 7.5.
Yeah, same. Like, other than that, like, couldn't do anything. And there was 2 instances. Do you remember, like, where Barnes, they were going to kick off, or it was a free kick again, and they kept having a set 2 kind of thing. But Barnes was initiating it. He was just standing there blocking. And there was that as well. Like, frustrating. You wait. He's going to end up scoring a hatful of goals against someone pretty soon, and his attitude is definitely right now before he potentially get frustrated more. You can see it slightly, but this game was ridiculous. When he went down, and we thought, but he got up again. But yeah, other than that, he's hungry for it. Like, he's showing it still. And eventually, like, not all refs are going to pull up for that. You can't be doing that, because it will seem biased in the end. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I thought he was decent, and he's a starter still for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no one else. I know we're a tiny bit light, but he's still, you ain't gonna drop it. 7.5.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then obviously the last striker obviously started, Morris. Thought he was okay. I think at times he was struggling to get in the game personally. I think he was getting a little bit annoyed with the referee as well. Do I blame him? No, I don't. It's not, the Morris that we have seen, at the moment. Obviously, he did get a goal against Preston. I thought after that he capitalised, maybe score again. As for rating, I think he was okay, but he wasn't in it too much. I'm going to go over 7.
Yeah, same. Like, he was in it, and then obviously come off later on. But yeah, it wasn't a standout. But part of that was because of the way we were playing. It's quite. Do you know what I mean? And their defence was pretty decent as well, let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? They were quite switched on. They were on to players. They were on to him quite quickly as well. And he didn't have the opportunity to do what he normally does. So, yeah, 7.
Yeah, and then moving on to players that come on. Obviously, 3 players come on in this one. Doherty obviously came on in the first half. I thought he was all right when he come on. Obviously, it is a good replacement in a sense for obviously Dre May. Good to see him back as well. You've got to get that in as well. Yeah, I thought he was okay. I'll go over 7.
Yeah, same. Like, nothing again stand out, but he always looked kind of, good on the ball. We get him from Doughty. He'll bring it forward and he'll get the cross in, and he's very good at that. But not so many opportunities like that, but decent enough. 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously the subs in the second half. First one we'll go with is obviously Woodrow for Morris. This game he nearly created something or tried to. It's still not quite, making an impact like obviously the Norwich game, for example, or something like that. It's not quite clicking for him, I'd say, at the moment. As for a rating, it sounds low, but I'm going to go over 6.5.
Yeah, same. It's exactly the same reasons, really. I think, didn't he come on after he was down to 10 men? Before?
Just before, yeah. Well, not just before. It was about 20 minutes before, but yeah.
Well, it wasn't the greatest. And sometimes, I don't know, that's what we are kind of lacking still. We want more under Nathan Jones. The players that did come on would make a difference. And it just doesn't quite seem to be happening lately. But, we'll just persevere with that. But yeah, 6.5.
Yeah. And then obviously the last player we wanted to see start, obviously Campbell. I thought he was decent when he come on. You know, getting stuck in, doing what we expected really from him in that sense. And that's why I would have started him. He's one of them players. You know, physical player, gets in your face, doesn't give you time. I think a team like Burnley, it'd have been well suited for him to start and do that. Yeah, I thought he was decent. I thought he was decent when he come on. Do you know what? I'm actually going to give him quite a high rating for a sub, given that we, you know, still lost the game as well. I'm going to go 7.5.
Yeah, exactly the same. And you could see as well the fans when he come on, they wanted him to come on. Do you know what I mean? So that's, you know, obviously we're not the manager, but the manager will have that in the back of his mind. Do you know what I mean? And when he did come on, he did do really well, considering he was down to 10 men as well, I think, by that time. And, you know, it didn't look like we was. You know, he was all over the pitch. He had an opportunity to score as well. You know, a bit unlucky that he just couldn't kind of get out of his feet. Do you know what I mean? But he ain't been playing for the last few games or whatever. Do you know what I mean? If he was, maybe he'd have just buried that straight away, but who knows? But he definitely made a difference when he come on, and it was good to see him. And
yeah,
I thought he'd done all right. 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, people, there are the player ratings. If I had to give a man a match, I don't really tend to do it when we lose, even though this game was unlucky, you know, in that sense. I'd probably go Ruddock as well, to be honest with you. I thought he was really good in the first half, and yeah, he done really well. And like I say, it's difficult to throw him out of the team, you could say, at the moment, because of how well he's playing. In you know, replacing him with Canberra or Campbell, for example, it's either at the moment it's either Ruddock or one of the others. And then obviously Clark ahead. So yeah, man. Anything else you want to say on that Burnley game, Dad?
Let's just drop it, move forward. Like I said, the performance was there, so that was the main thing. Because going forward, that's the sort of performance you need, especially if you are going to get in the playoffs and get to the promised land.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, a lot of comments, a lot of people in here, so big up to yourselves. Obviously, I'll go through Stephen's ratings as well. So he went Ethan 7, same as me. Burke 7, Bell 7, Lockyer 3. Do you mean 3 there? Jeez. Doherty 7, Cody 6, Ruddock 6, Clark 6.5, Marvellous 5.5. Yeah, fair enough. Campbell 6, and about Morris. So your highest ratings was 7s. Defense. Yeah, defense was all right. You know, to be fair. You know, I understand, you know, like Lockie's thing, I understand his frustrations. Usually I'm like obviously annoyed when we get red cards, but that one I'm just like, obviously it's annoying, you know, because we have to change it around against Birmingham, but just his frustration.
No, because we could, if we were on the pitch, we would have probably done the same.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand them. Chris says a long trip on our promotion charge. Yeah, you lot doing very well. To be fair, Carlisle are doing very similar to Luton.
It would be good to see Carlisle in like League One, and that will help them massively, like as well with like games and things like that. If they play up, you need to build on that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And go higher, mate, in the Championship and that. Imagine some certain teams having to go to Carlisle, mate, on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, trust me.
You know
trust me. Yeah, no, definitely. Big up yourself. He says, hello, lads, just subbed. Yep, no, appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much for that. Big up Hanno. He says, yo. He says, hope you're both good. Yep, we're all right, mate. What about yourself? See, Chris knows. He obviously put that as soon as Hanno coming in. So, yeah, there we go with that one. So, yeah. Moving on to the game tomorrow. Obviously, we've got another away day, and that is obviously against Birmingham City. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, we don't actually have a great record against these guys, which is a bit annoying. I think we've only ever beaten like 13 times. You know, obviously, I think we haven't beaten for the last 3 games. Obviously, last season, we know what happened both times. To get into that, and then obviously this season, earlier on in the season, drew 0-0. I remember it was one of them where we were actually good. It was just our final third wasn't quite there. I remember Cornick having a good chance, And it didn't quite work out. Campbell set him up. I remember that. But we weren't too bad. Just a final third in that sense. Obviously, going into it, Birmingham. Obviously a bit about them. Obviously, we'll be looking back to get a result after that defeat to Burnley, of course. It's what Rob Edwards has had to say. He said it's a typical championship test. He said, I know they may have lost their last 3 games, but they have been really tight games as well. Last game against Norwich, they had a right good go. To be fair, they did to certain extents, and then I think Norwich's quality just shone through. By the way, that Nunes that plays for Norwich, what a player. That goal he scored in the first half, jeez. The first goal anyway. And Rob Edwards also said Carrow Road is a difficult place to go, as everyone knows. They worked really hard. They were positive, and like normal, we're going to have to be ready to defend against a direct play. Good deal in transitions. They have really good athletes in their team, and they can play a real high intensity and energy. They have good individuals as well. I know they have 1 or 2 injuries, but there could be a couple of people coming back that they've missed in recent weeks as well. It's going to be another really difficult game. We have to go into it the same mentality as we did against Burnley last weekend. And then obviously a bit about Birmingham going into it. Come into the game on the back of 3 successive defeats in Championship. Most recently, obviously, to Norwich in midweek. And then 19th in the table, but 7 points clear of safety. Manager's side will be looking to get back to winning ways as soon as possible. And the likely source of goals is from Scott Hogan, who has 11 to his name so far this season, which included a hat-trick against West Brom earlier in the campaign. And then obviously Manchester United loanee Hannibal has provided the most assists, 6, and has been ever present in league matches since he joined them. And then, that's really it. I've seen that there's just under 2,000 Luton fans going to it as well, so big up to everyone that's going to that, and enjoy that one. But yeah, it's difficult. If you see my championship predictions earlier, how am I feeling going into it? It's a bit 50-50 because of that record. But at the same time, they've had obviously 3 successive defeats where, we haven't had results we've necessarily wanted, but we have played, well, and we haven't, lost them bar that Burnley game. I said at the start of the season, they're the most improved team in the Championship. And now they've just dropped off, so that just doesn't look right whatsoever. So there's certain things. We've been breaking records this season anyway. I saw this thing. For example, we've never, beaten them 2-1 at their ground. We've only ever beaten 2-1 once, stuff like that. Narrowly beat them at times, and lost. We haven't beaten them the last 3 games. So it's one of them. I'm feeling a bit 50-50. How are you feeling going into this one, Dad?
A bit the same because bogey team and that, but this is the business end of the season, and this is where we've got a better squad than we had last season. So this is where we need to be slapping up there. We did beat them not so long ago at their ground 1-0. Pot scored. So we need to kind of just replicate that really, and I think we've definitely got enough to do it. Yes, they will make it tough. And they're not going to be looking to lose 4 games on the bounce. But for me, I just think that we've got enough to edge it, and I think we will.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Let's go through some comments. Birmingham making me look like a right mug. Yeah, for example, obviously Hanno was saying, how they might get playoffs. Obviously, there's always that one team. They weren't doing all right, and then obviously had that drop off. It's same with me, mate. I said most improved team. They just had a massive drop off. We are a different team, and their off-field trouble must be concerning. Yeah, it's still going on. It's still going on. I remember when I went last season. I was wearing Luton stuff there, getting a little bit of rubbish, but yeah, no, it's crazy when we played them last season. They were doing it from like the bottom of the road, like all the way up. It was mental. It's absolutely mental. There's still bits going on about it now.
Yeah, but what he means there, Tyler, is he means like suspended points deduction and that as well.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah,
it will be in the back of their minds, and that's the thing. They seem to like get these players on loan who are quite decent. Look at the who's the guy that they had against us before.
Chong, mate.
Yeah.
And remind me.
They've got a bit about them. But we just need to be switched on, and I just think the Rob Edwards knows how they play. He's got it in there, So I think we'll edge it.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, there you go with that one. Chris says, if we go up, I'll be roasting Salford. I'll roast their fans. Don't have any. Yeah, I remember when you lot played them. You absolutely destroyed them at away from home. Yeah, that was good. Big up David says, yes, T, big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Chris has put his prediction in. I'll star it and go for it at the end. Jackie says, I'm praying we get 3 points. I won't predict. I don't want to jinx it. Fair enough. But yeah, like I say, I'm feeling a bit 50-50. I believe we can get a result. But it's just hard. What it's been like recently with the draws and the record against Birmingham. There's certain things I look at in that sense. But what we're getting to now is obviously a lineup. I'd still go with a 5-2-1-2. As much as we got players back like, your Lansburys, etc. I would still go attacking in that sense with the cam. So obviously in goal, Ethan, 100%. The back three now, I would probably go Burke on that right still. I'd probably go Osho in the middle. And on the left, I would go the guy who did score when we did beat them. The last time we beat them, actually, at their ground, Potts. I remember we watched that together, Dad. Remember that? Potts got that goal. I'm going to go with Potts. Obviously, he's back as well. Left side, Bell, of course. So, yeah, Bell there. The right side, do I think Train will be back for this?
Yeah, he's all right, mate. He'll be starting, trust me.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's as bad as... Yeah, I'll go with him. If it's not him, I will go Doherty. But, yeah. Midfield. This is interesting, the midfield for me. Well, start off, definitely Ruddock. Let's get that in. I'll go Campbell. And then ahead, Clark. Long. And then up front, again, I think it's just what it has been. Obviously, Elijah still hasn't got a picture. What the hell is going on? And then obviously Morris. So yeah, that's a lineup I'd go with. So yeah, your thoughts on that, Dad?
Yeah, probably exactly the same, mate. I expect Potts to come in. Osho to move to the centre back. Campbell, I think he might start this game because Campbell's played well and in certain aspects and that, but you're flogging him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So, and Campbell is I don't know, he's a decent player. So like, bring him on for the battle. Like, it's a bit difficult. Like I said before, when we first got him on loan, I was thinking, well, he's gonna play. You're not gonna loan him and not play him. But because we just have kind of free in midfield, it makes it difficult, doesn't it? But for me, I'll be starting Campbell in this one. Surely, now, he deserves that chance. We're not going to go. We need to be going attacking against these guys as well. I get it against Burnley because he is a more defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
but and he tidies up at the back more. Whereas Campbell's not really. He's better going forward. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't sit back and he's all over the pitch and that, and he's hustling players and that. But he's not like, he doesn't sit deep and pass it around the back. He'll do that and then get forward as well. But he scores goals as well. I can't see the Campbell scoring for us. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I can't see that. And I feel in this game, Campbell all day long. And front two, goes without saying, really, doesn't it? Clark, best footballer, can't be dropping him. Can't be dropping Ruddock unless he's feeling it. Do you know what I mean? Dre May will be back. And then we've got then good options on the bench, probably. We'll probably have Lansbury on there, Nakamba. We'll have Woodrow, Doughty, maybe Fred. Do you know what I mean? So that's the depth we've got at the moment. Obviously Lockie is not going to be there, but he'll be back for the Millwall game, and we'll need him for the Millwall game. Do you know what I mean? It would be unlucky on Potts that he would potentially be getting dropped for that game, but if he plays out of his skin in this game, maybe he won't, and maybe they'll drop someone else. Who knows? But we'll see. But yeah, that's the lineup I'd be going with as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Let's go through some comments. Chris says off-field problems still continuing for Birmingham, which is sad to see for an ex-Premier League club.
It is, but they keep doing it. They keep obviously like trying to keep their wage pattern going. They're not cutting back and stuff like that. So you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Yeah,
facts. He also says Luton and Carlisle loving the three at the back with wing backs formation. Yeah, man, we love that. We love that. Stephen saying everybody is back, so that's good. That's good. Big up Wolf says big up yourself. Stephen saying, did we really need Nakamba? What do you reckon, Dad? He's asking you the question.
Well, I guess we maybe we did kind of need a defensive midfielder for certain games, and I can see why we brought him in. But at the moment, it looks like potentially, like you're saying, did we really need him? But let's give it the benefit of doubt, and I'm sure that at some point we'll be like, yeah. I mean, he played well, and definitely in one game he was really, really good. So let's see, and if Ruddock got injured or Lansbury got injured again, then you could say yeah, So I think it's good to add to your squad. Obviously, if you're going to go for a playoff push, you're going to do that. Is available. You thought, yeah, why not? Why not? Exactly that. Build up. If you can do it, do it. And plus, the other midfielders that we got at the club when we played Grimsby, Thorpe, and Watson. He's played better than them. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'd say that potentially we probably did, because you can't risk if any of them are other. If Campbell got injured, Ruddock got injured, you got nothing.
Yeah,
you haven't got that experience. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Me personally, I think he's a good another player to have. Also with the sense, like you said there, with Grimsby, and also I do think he's a good player. I just think he needs, like I said earlier,
he is a good player.
He needs to get obviously the Championship's more physical, so he just needs to add a bit more of that physical side to his game. And I think it'll be a good loanee for the rest of the season, and maybe see what goes on. But I don't know. It depends what Villa want to do with him, really. But yeah, I think the game you're talking about where he come on and looked decent, I think it was the game where he come on his debut. I think it was Stoke. I want to say it was them. Yeah, I think it was, in fact. Because I remember they were going forward when they had rare chances that game, and he just won the ball back, and it was brilliant. You can see his quality there. But yeah, it's just certain things you can't do, like the Preston game, for example, where he was.
Yeah. I think he's trying a bit too hard as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And sometimes you just got to get it away or just pass it out, or you can't. Sometimes you can't dilly-dally around with it.
I think he needs a break. I'd be starting out.
Yeah, and we saw that, when he come off, I was getting frustrated because I was like, he's been overplayed, I felt, because he played full 90 minutes against was it Coventry, then pretty much played the whole game near enough against Preston, then obviously played that game up until the second half. So it's just frustrating because obviously I wanted to see Campbell as well against Burnley. So yeah, he definitely needs a break. I definitely agree on that one, or at least rest and come on, etc. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, after saying all of that, score prediction time. How do you see this one going, Dad? Away at Brum, you said you're confident and get some sort of result.
I think it will be close, and I think it will be difficult. I'm swaying between a couple of results, but I'm going to go with 1-0 Luton.
Nice. Exactly what it was like when we last beat him at St Andrews. Potts scored that game. Who's going to score in this one?
I'm going to say Adebayo.
Nice. Yeah, that would be good. My prediction, revenge on Brum needed. Yeah, after these last 3 games. Last game, just didn't take our chances. Last season, yeah, let's not talk about that. Home and away. I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. Now, I know I said that quite a lot of games before and we didn't win 2-1, but I do think they might score, but I think we'll score 2. It'll be, I could see it being similar to when we played Huddersfield away, New Year's Day. I could see it being something like that, where it's close for a while, then we break through and get the winner. Maybe see Birmingham taking the lead as well, similar to Huddersfield, to be honest. Goal scorers, I'm going to go Adebayo. I think after last season as well, where, you know, he had that chance and the ball boy ran onto the pitch, absolute madness to me. You know, I think he was trying to bring it into the box, but still, you know, could have been a chance for us to score. Not saying we would have, but it was a chance. And I'm going to go... You know what? I'm going to go Potts again. I reckon he's going to do it. I was going to say Burke, but then that's literally like the Huddersfield game where probably go on and score the winning goal or something. So, yeah, man, I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. So, yeah. And someone's obviously asked this question, Dad.
Tommy Fury all day long. Yeah, he's getting a lot of stick, but his fundamentals are there. And if he has to dig deep, which he won't, but if, you know, for him personally, I think that he will be taking it as that and a chance to show what he's actually all about. I think he's just going to end up toying with him.
I agree.
And I'm not hearing all these fantasists, what I call them, thinking that Jake Paul's going to knock him out. It's just not going to happen. It's absolutely ludicrous. They're even thinking about it. I mean, tell me you don't know boxing without telling me you don't know boxing. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You know, people are acting like he's you know, he's only just come into fighting literally like over the past 2 years, and he's only doing it because his brother fights and his cousin fights and etc. Load of crap, load of rubbish. So yeah. And you know, a lot of what he's saying is it makes sense. He's basically going to end YouTube boxing. I mean, I've heard KSI talking like, oh, he's going to fight him next, and acting like he's going to beat him. I mean, come on. I know you're a fan of him, Tyler, but that I don't know what they're putting in them prime drinks, mate. But it's baffling up people's heads, mate. Have some common sense. Do you know what I mean? I've been watching boxing for a long time, and I know he's got some all right skills, Jake Paul has, but at the end of the day, he hasn't got them basics. He looks good against the people he's had fights with because they're not boxers, they're MMA fighters. They're over the hill, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I got in the ring with him, he'd probably, you know, put it on me, let's be honest, do you know what I mean? But he's not doing that against Tommy. Tommy's younger than him as well. He's hungry as well. I think it'd be light work. I think he'll just end up playing. I would end up, if I was him, I'd just play with him for a few rounds and then just fucking finish him off. So, but we'll see how it pans out. You know, I can't see him. I just cannot see it. I just cannot see it at all. So Tommy Fury, probably TKO. probably by around 4. That's being generous.
It was 8 rounds in this one.
Generous, mate.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I reckon Tommy Fury will win as well. But yeah, similar to you, to be honest. I reckon he'll toy with him and then go for the TKO. What round?
Well, once Jake Paul realises that this is the best boxer that he's ever faced, then his plan and whatever is just going to go to shit, mate. He ain't going to know what to do. He's just going to end up getting beaten the fuck out of. That's what's going to happen.
I'm going to go. I'll go round 3. TKO round 3. Tommy Fury. So I'm going to go with in that one. Let's go through some comments. Stephen, sorry, not Stephen. Chris, obviously not a big fan of it. Oh, mate, I loved this video when it was announced. So there is like legit boxers. Obviously, I know Fury is, but there's like legit boxers on the undercard, and you know it's madness because they're actually fighting for a title as well. They're on the undercard. It's bizarre.
Just down to money. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course. I'll be watching DVD films that not paying $19.95 to waste my time watching Hampers. Oh my god. Oh dear. Chris also says, well said, does on these YouTubers in boxing, says it trying to promote their drink as well. Wonder why they're giving these.
This is what I was saying to you, Tyler. You know, people get a certain following and they think that they can do anything.
True.
I mean, and it is not the case. And it will be proven not to be the fucking case. So, yeah.
My prediction, I hope it's postponed. Oh, dear. But yeah, that is where we're going to wrap up. That is obviously the Burnley game spoken about. Obviously, Birmingham preview. And then, obviously, everyone was always going to ask us about that fight at some point. So, yeah, there you go. There's our prediction to that. Dad, any final things you want to say before we wrap up?
Just keep the faith and remember, we're still in pole position. We're in a good position. Don't watch the points so much. I did say to you earlier on, Tyler, in the season that eventually it will even itself out, and you'll see the teams that are, you know, like Middlesbrough are doing now. That, you know, and that's what we need to be doing. And I think if we get at least 4 points from the next 2 games, that's good. So yeah, just keep the faith.
Yeah. Well, I'd be very happy. So yeah, there we go with that one. But yeah, that is the end of the Hat Show. Like I said, obviously episode 87. We're currently on 10 likes. Don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't already. Obviously gained a new subscriber in the stream as well. Gained a new subscriber yesterday as well. So big up to yourself, whoever that was. Make sure to check out my championship predictions for this weekend as well. Did the pre-recorded video. A lot of people have looked at it so far. So yeah, big up to everyone that has. Make sure you do check it out after. Smash a like on that as well and all of that. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, obviously links to them are in the description. And yeah, subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. And as for content, I think I'm going to do a match reaction tomorrow to this game. And then I will be doing a watch along to the Premier League game, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. So yeah, and then Sunday I'll be doing a watch along to the League Cup final as well. So yeah, that is content I know is definitely coming up. So until next time, take care and peace. Come on, Luton.